How's it going? Shep hanging with you once again, bringing you the artists that are shaping the rock landscape of today. And I have Anova Skyway with me. And these guys are making some major moves. So what you're putting your hand up? What?
Oh, no, I was giving the peace sign.
Oh,
Hello,
I thought
everyone.
I thought you were raising your hand like a kid.
Hello,
in
people on
class or
the
something.
Twitch.
Okay, dudes, this is crazy, man. 26 on Foundations, and you debuted at 36 on Billboard. And I decided, I was like, man, I got to get these guys on the show before I'm playing them every week, because we play the top 20 on, and we source from Foundations. So I want everybody to be up to speed on Anova Skyway. And when did you guys actually start? I know this began as a side project, but when would you say Anova Skyway actually took off?
What was it, 2011? Yeah.
Yeah, probably 2010, 2011 is when Mike and Andrew actually first started toying around with it, but yeah.
We've gone through several singers. Like I want to say we had about 2 or 3 different singers, different bass player. And, this is kind of where we are now for the past 2 years.
So, okay, that was my next question. So this is not the first incarnation of the band.
Oh, we've had different sounds, different, like if you hear our stuff from early first EP we ever put out, you probably find on YouTube and shit. Like it's way, way different.
It kind of sounds like the Mars Volta.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Vocals and everything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. It was different.
Yeah. So it's made some transformations over time.
So you guys are out of Houston?
Houston.
Yeah.
Okay. I want your take on this. Why do you think that there's so many artists and rock bands coming out of Texas lately? Because it seems like every third band What?
I was thinking that too. There is a lot of good stuff out of Houston, right? Like you got Nothing More. Like
there's like a laundry list. Like I can't get my third brain cell to click in, so I can't like read them off. Like I just told you a little while ago, man, my notes disappeared on me a little while ago. And if I don't have that shit in front of my face, I can't remember the crap. And I'm sitting here going, and I don't want to sound like a fucking moron. Well, more than a moron than I already am. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. It seems like every third band I'm announcing anymore is out of Texas. And
it's a big state.
Yeah, it is a big state. We take up like 4 states.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Well, but it doesn't seem like it's ever been that way until like the last few years.
I don't know, man. Something's in the water.
Maybe.
Something in the water, just people like gravitating towards, because I know when I'm an old dude. So when I thought about Texas as a little kid, I thought about country.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. ZZ Top,
that here.
Country for sure.
And now all these rock and metal acts are coming out of Texas, and it just kind of, I don't know, blows my mind. But
that's a cool thing.
And it is kind of a cool thing.
Yeah,
it really is, especially I moved the stations to Tulsa, Oklahoma, about 3.5 years ago. So I'm not that far away, so I can just hop over their state and check out a lot of bands. It's really nice, actually. And then there are a lot of rock acts coming out of Missouri lately also. So, which is on the other side of me, which kind of rocks too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Your writing. Let's talk about that, because some of your stuff seems really deep and insightful. Now, is that just something that sort of happens, or do you actually aim for your stuff to come out that way?
I would say it just happens. It's just the way it comes out, I mean, we do get help, with producers and stuff to make our shit sound, really good, but as far as just the way it comes out, this, mostly just kind of flows.
Just kind of, are you like deep people Like as like
Maybe
in
only
real
in
life?
music. Yeah, only in probably only in music.
Only in
I would
music,
say,
because if
yeah.
you're hanging out with us, we're not very deep. We
Yeah,
just
it's
fuck
just fart
around
jokes and shit like that, you know.
It's kind of
No, I think this is our outlet for that. Go ahead.
yeah, it's our outlet for it. I think it's just honest music, man. There's no aim. We really don't put any limits. I mean, I've only been in this band. I don't know how long I've been in this band.
about
Like
a year and a half.
about a year and a half, but I absolutely adore it, man. It's a blast. I mean, there's no limits on any of it. We do what comes out naturally, and that's just what comes out. So I think the depth probably comes from the honesty. You know what I mean? Not honestly, that it's just like,
yeah, not that it's just
genuine.
like you're trying to make a radio hit or something like that.
Yeah, it's not, not like that. And we're not shooting to like write some deep, crazy, life-changing lyrics. We're just being honest and genuine. And I think that genuineness is what comes across as connectable. You can connect with that. It's relatable. And so it feels deep, you know. That's what I think it is, because it's just honest writing, man.
Okay, I can kind of get that with the honesty. And what are you hearing from your fans? Because I've talked to so many fans of other bands that really connect with the bands because they are so honest in their writing. What are you getting from your fans?
I mean, we're just getting a lot of positive feedback so far, especially with the latest, you know, with Reset that's come out. Like, we've heard nothing but really good things, other than somebody in was a British guy that really hated our artwork. But he loved the music. He was like, oh, you know, really hate the artwork, but the music is great. He did one of my favorite covers. You know, he was just going off on the artwork, how terrible it was.
Really shitty artwork.
Really shitty artwork. I didn't even think I'd like it. But no, he really dug the music, and I was like, fuck yeah. So as long as you like the music, like, that's awesome. Yeah. So like, we've heard a lot of positive feedback over, you know, what we've done lately. I haven't heard really anything negative, which I'm sure there is. You know, not everybody's gonna like, you know, what you do, but
yeah, we have a lot of been getting a lot of like surprise, like, you know, we've been doing it for a few years, and, you know, kind of stay kind of quiet, you know, like you're saying, a lot's coming out of Texas now, but, you know, it hasn't always been that way. And so like when you share the music, you know, you're never sure how people are going to react to it, but been getting things like, hey, you guys are actually a band, you know, like we all have regular jobs. We're just regular people, just, you know, doing what we enjoy doing, you know, after work and on the weekends. And to get positive feedback and be like, hey, this is actually enjoyable. I heard this on the radio. You guys are like a real band. Like, you know, it's kind of like, it's weird to hear that, but it's a good feeling that, you know, like what we enjoy, other people seem to enjoy as well.
Okay, you said something that sounds kind of freaking hilarious. Whoa, you guys are a real band. You actually have people say that?
Yeah. It's a weird thing. It's like, it's like, oh yeah, well, you know, because there's plenty of people that will go around,
garage
like, check
band.
out my band.
You're not looked at as a garage band, you know. You're like, oh shit, like, we actually heard y'all on, you know, radio, or I heard it, you know, came across you over this, you know, somebody shared your stuff, and, you know, it's like, holy shit, like, who is this band? And they look into it and like, oh, they're not that big, but you fucking sound great. You sound like a real band. I guess y'all are real.
Yeah.
That's just wild to me that somebody would be that obtuse to say, whoa, you guys are like a real band.
Well, yeah, because, you know,
yeah,
I'm sure you run into plenty of people who's like, hey, check out my band, and, you know, it may not be that good, or, you know, they're trying their hardest, but, you know, like you're saying, it might be just a garage sound or something. So it's like, hey, check out my band. It's like, wait, it's like, I work with you. It is like, I didn't know, you know, people were capable of that kind of stuff, you know, like regular people. You think of like people that are in rock bands as like that's all they do, and, you know, they spend all their time making great music.
Well, it was like that in the 70s and 80s, but
Yeah.
the landscape is so different anymore. Man,
Yeah,
how many
but people
different
still have that picture of it though, that, you know, like people are just like, you know, out partying and touring all the time, and, you know, there's not regular people amongst you making music.
like the old days of getting a record contract and all of a sudden becoming a multimillionaire and doing stadium shows and shit.
Yeah, I had a coworker the other day that said, hey man, I saw you guys were on Billboard. So y'all, I mean, you guys must be rich now.
Okay. You're like, yeah, that's how it works. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I have like 17,000 streams on Spotify, so I could probably buy you breakfast.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Album.
Never mind what it costs to produce all this music.
Yeah. Well, that, and then also, how many different hats do you guys have to wear? because I mean, you got to cover. I mean, you're looking at your website, your booking and that stuff. You don't have people to help out with everything, do you?
No, we have a very small team. I mean, we do have a PR person that we work with. You know, I mean, we have a radio campaign guy that obviously that helped get everything, you know, but aside from that, I mean, and the two producers that we work with to actually create the music, it's just us.
So, but so you guys are
don't have
handling all
booking.
your social media and you're handling
Everything.
your website crap and
All of
you're
it.
designing the merch and your
We do
shitty
have a merch
artwork
guy.
that
We
one
do have
British
an
guy
art-
hated.
Yeah. No, we have an art guy. We do have an art guy. He lives in Greece. He's awesome. He does all of our art.
Oh,
Really.
that's why that Brit hated it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's like them damn Grecians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, current album is called Reset. Okay, I'm actually gonna delve into a couple of cliche radio questions here. I try to steer away from that, but these were actually asked of me from a few different listeners too. Okay, why do you call your album Reset? This is your fourth studio album, I believe.
Yes. So it's kind of a twofold reason, I guess. The first one would be the obvious reason, which is if you look into our band's history between the last record and this record, we got a new singer, which actually Mike was in the band all along, but he played guitar before.
Okay.
As we started to go into production on this record, our previous singer had to throw in the towel. He just had a baby. He lived in Dallas. We're in Houston. It was just becoming too much. So we kind of had to retool everything, move Mike from guitar to vocals. And then we brought in Sean, who's been a longtime friend, but we brought him in to replace Mike on guitar. So it felt like sort of a reset, if you will.
Okay.
And then the second reason, it just kind of is just sort of like the global landscape with everything that's going on in the world right now. You know, we sort of need a reset, you know, and so that's the reason for the.
So it was kind of a twofold deal.
Yeah.
Where changes in the lineup and then also trying to get back to normal.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, I understand. And then the second cliche question, Anova Skyway. Okay, how did that come up? Now, Anova, I had one guy who is a chef ask me like why yeah, okay, the sous vide. Yeah.
So the sous vide didn't, so you have to remember that like we've been doing this for quite a while. I don't think Anova sous vides were a thing when we did that. I mean, 2010 is when we came up with this name, right?
Okay.
And to be honest with you, the name means nothing.
Really?
It means nothing. What it means is actually when we sat down and said, what are we going to do for a name? The first thing we thought of was, if you Google our band name, we don't want anything to come up other than us. And that was the number one thing we were looking at, was that.
And now you got the fucking Anova sous vide.
And now we got
Yeah. Oh, man. I actually had some guy that I met the other day. He's like, oh, same question. Like, where'd you guys get that name from? And he said he was like a biochemist or something. He's like, Anova is actually something related to, like variance in analysis or something. And analysis of variance. He's like, yeah, we use that all the time, test differences between means and stuff. I was like, that sounds really cool. I'm going to start telling people it was on purpose. That is, it's about that.
So when we were coming up with the name, we did know that we did think about that, but the two words together, like I said, I mean, when we first started doing this, we had kind of a Mars Volta thing going on. The music was a lot more spastic and all over the place. No tonal center, if you will. And so, I mean, that word made sense for what we were doing. And then the Skyway thing, I'm trying to remember because it was Sky first, right? And then
I think it was Skyway.
Yeah.
You know, we just had a bunch of words all laid out. Skyway
Yeah.
was one of them, and then we, you know, jumbled the words around and came up with Anova
So
Skyway. Sounded cool. So.
Probably not as interesting of an answer as you were hoping for.
I'd
but
like to.
Well,
I was gonna
no,
say,
that's
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I know I was
Yeah.
talking about honesty, but what would be real cool is if you edited all that out and let us just say something like in that mysterious.
My first car was a Nova.
It's
or
open to
something.
your interpretation. We don't want to share it. We think that everybody should be able to make their own interpretation of it. So send us your interpretations, and we'll use them on the next show.
Problem is, I can't edit it out because we're live on fucking Twitch right now. We're screwed. But no, that's why. Yeah, and what you were saying about the analysis of variance, the data set thing that you were told about. That was one other. Somebody else said something about that. Has something to do with like the picking out the mean of a population or something like that. And so I didn't know. I was like, well, wait a minute. Okay, these guys, their music sounds like they are real deep people, and maybe that could be. But no, you're just a bunch of morons that came up with a bunch of.
Hey, we said we were honest, you know.
Hey, that's what I like, man. It takes dumbasses to make the world go round. I'm a dumbass. Glad to be one. Your recent found success, how does that feel? Because I mean, you started so long ago, and I know there's been different incarnations throughout the band, but some of you have been there since day one. And how does that feel on both sides? Coming in, the new guys coming into a band and seeing their success, like because they're working their asses off, and you who have been in the band like since day one, working your ass off, and then finally being able to tell people, "Hey, suck my ass! Look what's happening."
We're a real band.
Yeah, no. I mean, it feels good. You know, it feels good that you know, people are paying attention. But I guess for me, speaking as one of the guys that's been here the whole time, it's always been fun. It's always been fulfilling for us. So it's more like icing really than anything, because what we've been doing, this is for us at the end of the day, you know, it's a release for us. It's our therapy, you know, it's what keeps us sane. So, you know, to me, it's just icing. Like, I'm happy for it, but it's just icing.
So it actually doesn't even really seem like work to you. Is that what you're saying? You're like,
I mean, if it started feeling like work, we probably would stop doing it. You know,
okay.
Jobs for work.
I can see that, but
You know?
will you always? But
Yeah.
will you always? That's a question too, because I mean, like, yeah, you may not be rich, but yeah, that yet, operative word yet,
Right.
but yeah, you do have songs on 2 of the 3 charts, and I'm sure Horizon is going to show up on Media Base here pretty soon. Media Base is always weeks behind the other charts. I don't know what the deal is with that, but and then it's only going to keep rising from there. So do you see it becoming a job at one point? If it does, am I going to see you say hasta la vista? I'm out.
If it makes sense.
If what makes sense?
If it makes sense as a business, you know, I mean, just what we talked about before, there's not a lot of money in this anymore. So, you know, I mean, if the deal made sense, then yeah, I could see us doing that. But I mean, no, we're not gonna. I think you phrased the question a little bit backwards the way. Now that I'm answering you, I think that you phrased. Yeah, you said it back. No, I don't see that. I don't see us just saying peace out. You know, we have our boundaries. We know what we're capable of doing and what we're not, and you know, we can still get music out there for people to hear and know what's too much. You know.
Okay, all right. That's what. So you're grabbing the mic. Come on,
Yes,
say
okay.
what you want to say.
Yeah, don't think it will ever like stop writing music. Like if it gets like, okay, we need you guys to make music, and like because it's under a contract, I don't think we'd ever just like stop, you know. But you know, I guess there is a line, like he's saying, there's a line between, you know, like making sacrifices, like this is all you can do, and you know, you're gonna have to like live broke for it. Maybe there's a line there, but like you know, we'd still be making music, you know, even if there's not like some big deals and contracts involved.
Okay, I kind of see that. It's almost like a right now. You said it's like an outlet, but if it becomes a job to you, you know, you'll keep the two separate. You'll keep on writing, and you'll keep on doing stuff to fulfill your needs.
Yeah, I think everybody's just got, it's basically exactly what you're saying. We got to take care of ourselves to be able to do this. We're not going to stop making music. We love being in a band. We love what we write. That's going to continue. If we get a deal and it starts rocking and that works for us, yeah, kick ass, rock and roll. We'll throw it out there. If it's something where touring becomes so much that we're making sacrifices at home, which is a road I've been down, that's really a difficult one for us, you know, because of course we have families. We've got all that. So we got to keep our cups full so that we can continue to create awesome shit. So that's where the line is. Yeah, we want to get some distro thing. We start throwing some albums out there. Killer, man. Play some festivals. Killer. But we've got families and we've got our priorities right. So we do this from our heart. It'll go as far as it can. And we're just going to see where that goes, man.
Okay. All right. And with Horizon, what do you want to get across to people? What do you want to the people watching, listening right now? What do you want them to know about the tune Horizon?
Nothing in particular. I mean, like I said, we just write the songs, and you know, what do you got?
Yeah, so Horizon is actually a big shift for like everyone involved here. Like our previous album, we were working with Louis Abramson from Jolly, produced that entire album and produced several of the songs on this album. But Horizon was the first time we started working with a new producer, like from scratch. And so that sound was like coming at a completely different workflow. And it's something that we're experimenting with going forward. So that is something that Horizon kind of stands out against everything that's been done like in the past 5 years with the band, is that it's a new kind of direction.
That's
and
actually
then,
what I was trying to say. Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, I'll give him the credit for that. He was on that track. But it's also, you know, the first time, you know, that we debuted Mike, you know, taking the spotlight, taking over vocals. And we've gotten good response on it, both from video, from radio play, and from playing it live. It seems to have really caught people's attention. And so hopefully we can continue in that kind of direction and keep that momentum going. So it is kind of a game changer for us because it's a completely different workflow, completely different sound, completely different, you know, vocal delivery. You know, there's all kinds of things that went into this to represent the direction that we're taking moving forward.
Okay. Would you say that the band is actually taking a different direction, or do you think this is just a tandem direction? Do you think you're going to stay in both lanes?
I think it is more of a both lanes thing. It's just more so that, you know, that we're kind of spreading out and trying different things. There'll always be, you know, a level of, you know, wanting to, you know, stick to maybe what you're known for or what you're comfortable with, but you know, it was also an experiment in being able to step out of our comfort zone and, you know, try different things. And it seems to have been successful. So that makes us open to trying other things as well. Not so much, this is what we sound like now and this is all you're going to get, but just like, you know, that there's more to it than what we've done in the past.
Okay. All right. That totally makes sense. And something for multiple fans, actually.
Right.
Do you see yourself gaining new fans with this tandem direction you have?
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, hopefully. But yeah, I think so far the response so far, you know, has been pretty positive. So I think it's, you know, it's going in the right direction to gain maybe a bigger following.
That's good to hear, man. That is really good to hear, because you guys, if you don't know it, you're good.
Well, thank you.
I've had some bands on here that they think they're just like morons and idiots, and they're just goofing around and get lucky once or something. And it's like, okay, wait a minute, I have to stop them. And it's like, hey, just take a step back. You do know you're good, right? You know you have talent. Your website, it's anovaskyway.com. Is that correct? Okay. And on there, people can sample all your music. They can actually get links to buy the music. Merch store. You got to go support these guys, man. And like we're just talking about, it takes a lot of money to like run a band. And hey, we went through this for like a year and a half. If we don't have people supporting the bands, we're not going to have the live shows to go to. And we went through that, not having live shows for like a year and a half. So it's come on.
Yeah. I'd heard, somebody was talking about something one time, and I heard a guy telling me, I can't remember where I was, but I had two experiences. One, I was at this show, and remember the band Snot?
Oh yeah.
Fucking loved them, man.
Yep.
They, the guitar player, Mikey, had a side band. And anyway, we're over there at the show, and I go to the merch booth to buy a CD. And Mikey's standing behind the thing. I'm like, thanks, man. Awesome. I just came to support you because, I'm a fan of your old band. And this guy is next to me. And Mikey looks at him, and the guy goes, hey, man, great show. He goes, good, man. You should buy a CD. And the guy goes, oh, no, my buddy bought it. I'll just burn it from him. And I was like, dude, but then I've had another person tell me, he was like, yeah, I just think music should be free, man, for everybody. It's this and that. And for anybody who thinks that, my thing is like, yeah, here's the music is not free. We pay for a space to rehearse. We pay for equipment. We pay for studio time. We pay for time off of our lives to do what we do. We pay for our own everything. So it's so much that goes into a record. And I know you can just say, download, boom, automatic. Hey, that was cool. I got that with my membership. And it's like, we're willing to put it out there because it's what we love to do. So we work our lives. Our jobs are to support this and for us to be able to do this, but that attitude is a strange one. And I just think it's an unawareness. I don't blame the person. It's an ignorance of what it takes to make this music. For that to come out.
Do you think it's just kind of thing that's, I don't know how to phrase this, it's become a thing? It's just natural for people to expect to be able to download shows, download movies, download music, download albums.
Sure, man. Yeah. And I think what's really crazy is I remember the day my cousin called me when YouTube came out, and he goes, I think I was going to a Gojira show. It might've been before you Gojira. I just hadn't seen YouTube. I'm old too.
Okay.
So he's like, yeah, dude, I saw him on YouTube. And I was like, well, what is that? Cause I was waiting to go see him. And he goes, well, here's you type this in. So I type it in, I go over there, and it played the show. And I'm sitting there and I was watching it, and I was like, this is crazy. And then I went to the show, and the show, of course, was better than the YouTube show or, whatever. But do you remember that mystery, man? You remember like listening to a CD? You remember buying a CD?
Oh yeah.
Reading
the lyrics, going through it. Fuck, yes. I remember record jackets, dude.
Dude, that's it. Or you'd read the magazine about them, and then you're waiting to go to the show, and you have no fucking clue what's going to happen. And you get up there, and you're fucking fired up, and they come out and they blow your ass away, and you're talking about it for 6 fucking weeks.
Yep.
Now it's like, oh, let me YouTube and check it out. And I get it. There's no blame, but it definitely takes away from the novelty of the experience, from the specialness of that.
And I think that might be lending a hand to why rock bands aren't as big as they used to be. It isn't the same way because like people aren't paying for this stuff anymore. The record companies are smaller. The record companies don't have the cash to throw at these big acts anymore. And they don't have the cash to throw at the little acts to get them big anymore because the people aren't supporting the bands.
Yeah. And a lot of the labels are telling you too, they're looking at your social numbers. That's one of the first things they ask about. And it's like, what do your socials look like? And it's like, what are you talking about? It's been all this time making fucking music, man. And like, aren't you going to be the one to get our socials up? Like,
So
who does that shit? You know, I'm going to do all the work and then here you go. Like,
so the landscape has definitely changed. Like with that, you know, you got to get your socials up. A lot of it is, you know.
Oh, you froze. Oh, wait, you'll come back. Come on. It's showing you have full bars on here. Oh, this is kind of messed up. Oh, they're back in the waiting room. What the hell? Okay. It's trying to connect. You guys are back? What the hell happened?
Sorry about that.
needed a break, man.
Sorry about that. The computer went to sleep. I wasn't moving the mouse.
Oh, okay.
The fact that it allows that during a live meeting is
kind of yeah. That's kind of weird. I've noticed that here with my automation computers because the computers aren't supposed to update during like work hours, and it does. It's like or during operating hours. Well, they operate 24/7, so I think I would have to do it manually, but whatever. So where were you?
I was saying that the landscape has definitely changed, and I was just listening to something on the radio about this the other day, where like they're saying, you know, you would go into a show blind, you would go and buy an album blind, and you know that rock stars were this big mysterious figure, you know, that you know they were like larger than life, you know, they weren't human, you know, it was like there was a mystery involved, and you know that has kind of erased, and you know people now and fans now, you know, are expecting more of like a connection. We want to know what you guys are doing on a regular basis. We want to, you know, see what you're doing. We want to see your Instagram photos. We want to see, you know, see when you guys are working on the music. You know, it's like give us a behind the scenes peek. Everybody wants that, and so it's really created much more much more expectation, but also it creates little like much more niche like interest where you know you can quickly, you know, but I think it also builds like it can build a tighter community. You can connect to people that are interested in what you're interested in, so the bands, you know, almost become like a community for people to hang out with each other, you know, and especially in the digital age of being able to you know, quickly connect and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna check these guys out, look, they're live right now, kind of stuff. And so there's much more, you know, it's like much more instant gratification or whatever, but yeah, so it's a totally different landscape than was before, where, you know, a big album will come out and be like, all right, let's check this out. Now everyone's getting sneak peeks and, you know, hanging out with the bands and everything, which, you know, I guess it's just open to opinion and interpretation. You know, is that a good thing or a bad thing, or, you know, is it neutral? It's just different now. And so, you know, it's, you know, you just have to adapt, you know, to the current environment. You know, people want access to the music. It's like you either give them access to the music or, you know, you fade away. It's like, so there's a lot to it. There's a lot of intricacies to that. So, you know, we have to adapt and evolve, you know, to keep people interested.
And you brought up adapt, of course. One thing that's really going on in rock radio right now is a lot of acts from the 80s. And hell, there was even one from the late 70s. I think their name was Angelus. Came out. They have adapted. Those old guys have changed the way they do shit. But then you have other acts that refuse to change from the way it was in like the 70s, early 80s. And you don't hear from those guys anymore. But these new guys, I mean, if you look at the charts, and you're going to see bands like Shark Island, you know, that's hell. They were big in like the late 80s when I first got in radio. They did stuff for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and stuff. And I'm drawing a blank on a bunch of other ones, but there are, I'd say 5 or 6 that have been very successful coming back. And I have one band that I've worked with for years and years and years. They're actually from the MySpace generation. And now they started up a second band. And because they went away for a while, their lead singer quit and that, they started up this other band. And those old guys have adapted too. And their second band is like charting. They have multiple songs that have charted now. So I don't know. I guess adapting is the perfect fucking word for it.
Yeah, because I mean, like even, kind of meta here is that, we're live on Twitch right now. That wasn't a thing in the 70s. You'd wait for a band to come into town once per year, and then that's all you would get. But like right here, we're having a conversation. It's much more personal. And so that's what I think is going on, is that connections to bands are becoming much more personal for people. And so they feel like, they're part of a community, and they feel like they're involved with their favorite musicians now, where before they were treated more like, like God kings, whipping into town and, bringing the entire town together to see them. And now it's kind of, like we're all just friends hanging out, we play music and you guys like it. Let's chat for a while.
Do you like that aspect of it?
Yeah, I like that aspect of it. I like, the smaller shows, that we do. We're not in big old crowded things where it's a sea of anonymous people, being able to be small enough and being able to, connect with people, not just through the music, but actually like, through talking as well is, it's a very different, but, it can create connections, you don't have to be, sell and platinum every record to, for your music to be considered successful, I guess, in my eyes.
So you guys are totally the type of guys that after the show head of the merch booth, aren't you?
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Well, the bar and then the merch booth.
The bar, the drink is important, man.
Priorities, brah.
Yeah, we hang out until the venue closes most times, and so we're hanging out in the parking lot afterwards until everybody decides to head out. That's usually our shows.
That's usually the way it works. So with that thought in mind, what are we looking at as far as live shows?
Got our second record release show that's going to be October 1st. Yeah, October 1st, White Oak Music Hall in Houston. If anybody's around,
okay.
Go. It's going to be a killer ass show.
Within 4 states of Houston, man.
Right within 4 states of Houston.
Yeah,
I mean, all of Texas.
I mean, if there's any demand in any other cities, we'd love to hear it, and we can work something out as well. If there's enough, you guys say it's getting good radio play up there. We might see what we can do to get up there.
For sure.
Okay. All right. Awesome. You were saying, what do you have any other dates lined up so far, or
we don't have any?
Are you still putting stuff together?
Yeah, we're putting stuff together. We had done all this, and now we're actually writing the new record. So we're putting shows out there, working on writing. We were just doing that before we got on this right now, arranging some new songs. So yeah, that's kind of it, man. Just in our workflow, man, hitting shows where we get them and feel like playing them. If, like Corey said, if there's any demand, if anybody throws some stuff out there for us to get, we'd love to come out and meet you guys and kick some ass. It'll be a good time.
Okay. Awesome. I look forward to it, man. I'd love to party with you.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you're awesome, man. For sure.
Well, yeah. Wait until you meet me before you say that. You're like, man, this guy's a fucking moron.
It's all right. We're all morons too.
Yeah. All together we'll be one big moron.
There you go.
Googling band names.
Oh, we'll be I guess an avenger of morons. That's what we'll just all conglomerate together. Song is Horizon. What do you say we let the Real Rock Nights listeners hear it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't understand what you asked. No, don't play it, man.
I don't know.
Like, no.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
We got this really good song from Snot. Play this. Okay, guys. Thank you for coming on Real Rock Nights. Anova Skyway is the band. Their song is Horizon. It's right here, right now on Real Rock Nights.